I read 5 NY Times bestsellers, and here's what I think. Without giving any spoilers to you, I will share my review and experience of reading these books. Hi, my name is Manpreet and I make videos about books on this channel, trying to do that every week, so tune in and subscribe if you haven't yet. Have you ever wondered how does a book qualify to be a NY Times bestseller? Who's tracking all of this? Well, first of all, the way the calculation is done is a trade secret. So we can never really know for sure. Secondly, and surprisingly, it's not just the number of books sold that lead to the decision. Legally, NY Times list includes book sales numbers plus editorial choices. So it's never really 100% based on the number of book sales. And what's also true is that a lot of people make their reading decisions using this list. People see a book become a NY Times bestseller and they pick it up. I guess my first read in this regard had a different path. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover was really brought to limelight via Book Talk, that is bookish videos on TikTok in 2021. Ever since, this book is being read by so many people. I also read it and vlogged about it. I'll link the vlog down below in the description. The book is a love story, a story that involves a little bit of a love triangle and is really based around the subject of domestic abuse. A few months after reading the book, I read it in January, I would say it isn't a memorable one, It's just a regular book that got super popular. Yes, it's more than a normal love story. It deals with serious subject and has inspired a lot of people and women to really prioritize themselves, which is really good. But in terms of the story and the vibe I got from the book, it was really average and cringy at times. Same goes with the second book I read. It Starts With Us, which is a sequel to It Ends With Us. This is really the happily ever after story in the making kind of book. It just speaks of Lily, the main character's path after It Ends With Us ends. It's fine, a good read, but just a fluff book, It doesn't have a really strong story and is again a very forgettable read. I also read Verity by Colleen Hoover, which is a thriller. It's considered disturbing, mind-boggling, and whatnot. And of course, it has been on the NY Times bestseller list for so long, for so many weeks. Honestly speaking, I don't even remember how the book made me feel. Of course, there's a vlog I can watch to relive those memories. But again, there wasn't really a point of reading and remembering this book, in my opinion. It isn't really a good thriller. It isn't a concept that messed up with my mind, something I expect from any thriller like this. Months after reading this is seriously what I feel. And this is also why I started questioning my own idea of just blindly picking the NY Times bestsellers, expecting they would be good. Most of the times, they are not, I guess. They are just hyped books, popular for n number of reasons, TikTok, whatever, one of which could be that some editor sitting in some room decided it should be on the list. I don't know this person. I want to take my reading advice from people I know, and I know it's a personal advice rather than some professional opinion. That's what I want. That's my take on how I like my book recommendations served. When I read the book 5, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, it was the final nail in the coffin. Picture this. I buy this super expensive book in Canada and I buy the whole trilogy. I'm thinking it's a bestseller and there's the show that's good. I have watched the first season. And then the book should be good too, right? I was wrong. So wrong. Honestly, the first book, I am fine with it. Whatever it is. But then I started reading the second one, and a few pages in, I had enough. I dropped this whole idea of doing the NY Times bestseller reading vlogs that I was doing in the year. It put me in a huge reading slump, left me in a really bad and sad mood. So I hate this series for doing that to me. And it just started with me wanting to do those reading vlogs. But anyway, there was one book out of the 5 that was really worth reading that I really want to recommend to all of you. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's also sad. Trigger warning, rape. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. It's one of the best books I have read in a while. It's really about a woman's life, her career, and her struggle to just be empowered. It's about Elizabeth Zott, who's a brilliant chemist who is forced to become a television chef while also being a single mother. And it's set in 1900s. So that's an important part. Zod's story just hits you hard. Like I said, set in 1900s, do not remember the proper year, but there's a lot of discrimination against women in that time. They are underestimated, not given credit for their achievements, and their life and path to success is just a lot, actually a lot difficult than people of other genders. Surprisingly, this book set in that time is not that much different from current time. There's some progress, but many of us are still living through such sad times where we face such kind of discrimination. But hey, don't get me wrong. Lessons in Chemistry is not a very serious, heavy book. It's just a fun, contemporary book that you can enjoy over a weekend. That's what I loved about it the most. It's not some great piece of literary fiction, but it just does its job very well. That's why I like this book so much. That's all. That's what I think about all the NY Times bestsellers I have read, like these 5 that I read together. Have you ever picked up any book that, you just picked it up because it was an NY Times bestseller? If so, which one? And did you like it? Let me know in the comments down below and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.